Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Kristen Smith, editor for the Center Square. Joining me today is the Center Square's Pennsylvania reporter, Anthony Hennon. Today, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite state agency, which is PennDOT. I think it's no surprise to pretty much anyone in the state who has to deal with them that they're pretty unresponsive. There's a lot of, pain in the neck things to deal with when you're trying to get anything from PennDOT. So this isn't something that comes as a surprise, but it's certainly something that lawmakers and local officials have been complaining about too. Anthony, you spoke with one state rep who has an idea for how to fix this problem with PennDOT's lack of accountability.
Yes, I don't think it's terribly hard to find a state or local rep who is reticent about airing some complaints surrounding PennDOT. But Tara Probst, who's up in Northeast Pennsylvania, who's former mayor of Stroudsburg, has introduced a bill that would essentially require PennDOT to create a database and track how quickly they're responding to complaints from municipal leaders, and basically keeping tabs on what the complaint was, how PennDOT responded to it, and whether the issue is resolved. A lot of towns across the Commonwealth come upon this issue of even their local roads being some issue with it or maintaining infrastructure. And a lot of these roads aren't necessarily local leaders' responsibilities. A lot of these are state roads owned by PennDOT. And if there's a problem with a road owned by PennDOT, it's up to PennDOT to fix it. And often it's on their schedule, not how local residents would prefer it to be. So, it's again, I don't think it's terribly hard to find quotes like these, but talking with Probst, she said, every municipality has a complaint about PennDOT. They have no accountability to anybody. They just need to be held accountable for the work that they do, and they need to be responsive. So I think this is simply, really showing a lot of the frustration that you hear from a lot of local leaders about Pennsylvania's quality of the roads, of customer service, of dealing with these issues that routinely pop up. When you talk with PennDOT, they point out that they work closely with municipalities to deal with concerns and address issues and, trying to respond quickly and immediately to things. I spoke with their press secretary, Alexis Campbell. She pointed toward, there's a number of ways that PennDOT lets people get in contact with them. They have a customer care center that takes complaints from the public. They have a municipal service representatives who are basically scattered statewide by a dozen different districts. They have a local technical assistance program that offers different training to local officials. They have a municipal advisory committee to meet quarterly with statewide groups for county commissioners of, small towns and boroughs, that sort of thing. So, there's all these different ways to get in contact with them to discuss the issues. But still, there's a lot of frustration here, and a lot of local reps don't think that they're really responding to complaints quick enough. When you do get the attention, people speak very highly of PennDOT workers coming and fixing things. I think it's the frustration that people have with the time it takes to actually resolve these problems.
As you mentioned in your reporting, too, it seems that even though PennDOT says they have a lot of open lines of communication, that doesn't stop people from running to Twitter to complain about our roads and the agency itself. In fact, you reported that Pennsylvanians complain more than most other states about potholes, oil and chip fixes, and the small rocks that are kicked up and hitting their cars as a result of that. And also, State Rep Probst has said is that it seems like PennDOT favors industry over residents. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I think this one is at least a little more focused on northeastern Pennsylvania, where when you look at these areas, especially areas like Allentown, Bethlehem, those areas, there's been a huge boom in warehousing and building out these large Amazon centers, Walmart. Basically, you name any large company, they have something up around Northeast Pennsylvania. And so you're getting a lot more truck traffic coming through of large semis coming down the interstate, down the roads. And so as Probst sees it, she says, it's all about truck traffic. They don't care about people. They don't care about towns. They don't care about places. All they care about is how fast can we get these trucks through our highways. So, I think especially when you're looking at just how much that sector of the economy has grown and replaced a lot of these former industrial concerns up there. There is a certain amount of pending revenue, either people earning it or revenue coming into state tax coffers to fund a lot of different projects, and making sure that the truck traffic can easily move in and out has become more and more of a priority as this industry has developed.
I believe that that's certainly something it wouldn't take a lot of convincing to most drivers to feel that PennDOT's regulations and rules and priorities seem to favor industry. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. For Anthony Hennin, this is Kristen Smith. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.